I swear to God, I don't believe this stuff. Okay, you see this business that opened here, okay? People kept trying to steal my land, and I kept saying, no, you can't have it. And they kept wanting it, and I kept saying, no, you can't have it. Well, so I told them, I said, there's a daycare, an old daycare right here. It connects to my woods. If you think there's something on my property you want so bad, there's a parallel universe. I said, buy this daycare. This daycare was vacant forever. Okay, my husband wanted to buy it because the woods connected, and he said I could open a photography studio here instead of using our property because I wanted a photography studio. I said, no, not with people trying to kill me out here every week. I can't even live in my own home without them coming on my property trying to attack me. So these people bought it. Well, I found out later they say they're linked to my husband's ex and Alex DeSico. I have never had to call the police so many times as when these people moved here. And there's people sneaking on my property every night. There's a witch out back. So then I come here after they're telling me last night, oh, they were doing horrible things to me. I felt like I was dying. And then they show me they're putting all this equipment around me through neighbors, more than one, a witch out back. They broke in and put twinkles in the garage. They've people in this neighborhood and this city with Bob's ex and Alex DeSico have already killed 4 family members and put another one in the hospital. This place, now I can't prove they've affiliated, but there's a vehicle one day that had Sasquatch on it, and this Grisham moved in around the same year. Same thing, same problem. They're all trying to coil themselves around me, they tell me. This is what I'm hearing from informants. And so last night was horrible, and when they killed my dad, that month they brought this across the street, same kind of logistics and some kind of weird fiber optics semi truck came and just kept loading equipment in the house. And then they said this one person came and started, a guy that does cable for cable companies. He moved next door to him, strange. He put a flag in his front yard, put flags in his garage with umbrella lights on them. Then they came and started putting all this new stuff in my dad's, right at the telephone pole at my dad's street. And right that month he had to go to the hospital, heart problems, everything else. He died at the hospital, 2 different hospitals they put him in. They kept attacking him, and they would tell me by phone, give your land to Justin Bretz and Sarah Dyer. And I kept ignoring these messages. And the story is so long you cannot imagine. They sent him to the hospital. A visiting nurse said his pupils were dilated. There was nothing wrong with him. So we took him to Brooks. And Brooks, my dad said, I'm not having any discomfort. There's nothing wrong with me. All of a sudden they put him on a heart machine. They said, oh, you're having a heart attack. My dad said, I'm not having chest pain. I'm not having breathing problems. I'm not having a heart attack. They rushed him into Audubon. They bypassed the emergency room, stuck him in a heart cath lab. His doctor was furious. He said his heart's improved more in 2 years than ever before. Why did they tell me this man was having a heart attack? Well, then they insisted on putting him in a room. Not just any room, a room he was in last time. If you looked outside the window, there looked like a little shrine, a little meeting place in the woods, right outside there. My dad wanted to come home. His heart doctor said, well, I want him just in the regular, like heart, the lab, the area, but all my patients go to after they've had this procedure. Why do you insist on putting him in a certain room? The room did not have any heat in it. The heat, and no matter who came in, the engineers working on it, it didn't have any heat. It stayed ice cold. That night, somebody comes in from another ward, some kind of military guy, wants to give him a shot. I said he's already had all this medicine. You know, he doesn't need a shot. He wouldn't tell me what the shot was. I called the nurse's supervisor. I said, you're not giving him this medicine. You call his visiting nurse association. He's already had all the medicine he needs. You'll overdose him. And the nurses said, we'll throw you out here if you don't let him give him the shot. I said, well, tell me what the shot is. Let me call his visiting nurse or get a hold of his doctor. They wouldn't do it. The man gave him a shot. My dad always died. Tachycardia. They had to bring him machines. They had to have hospital people work on him. Just about killed him. My dad said, get me out of here, Sherry. They're going to murder me. I'm going to die. I have a bad feeling. Get me out of here. Then I started seeing this thing in the room. I started burning. I took pictures of it. They call it the Rock of Chewbacca. It said Tava, and a redheaded woman sent it. So he had marks on his arms that looked like bites. He started losing blood. Nobody knew why. My dad never had to have a transfusion in his life. So this all happened at the hospital. And so he was supposed to go home the next day. Well, after they gave him the shot, he couldn't go home. And things just went downhill from there. They told me, I'm gonna kill your father because you didn't give the land to Justin Bretz or or Sarah Dyer. And right at that time, they said that they told me by phone, I'm gonna kill your father. And they showed a white truck I had called the police on that had been chasing me on the way to the hospital and had bars on the back of it. And no matter what, I went through bank parking lots, everything. It was chasing me for like 20 minutes. I called the police, and then I pulled over at Sam's because they said, wait where you are, we'll be there. I said, my dad's in the hospital, I can't stay here. But I pulled over at Sam's just to stay there till I could feel safe enough. And then this vehicle comes and parks beside me, the big Phoenix on the truck, on the door, some kind of Phoenix painted, and people with caps, weird caps, had like monograms on them, started parking around me. I got to the hospital and things just went downhill after that. So now I'm being surrounded, and they tell me the neighbors are killing me and my husband, trying to steal our property. They tell me right before they moved into this building, the Ghostbuster crew's there now, and then they started putting in weird equipment. We started burning. They started sneaking on the property every night, doing experiments. And if you look, there's a guy that comes on my property every night, trespasses, does things with souls, spirits, says he puts souls in rocks and trees, calls himself the trophy hunter. Said that he was sent by Sarah Dyer and Alex Sissoko to stalk my parents. This is all happening, and I live just, you see where that Grisham's Auto is? I was here before this business, for this business, for this doctor. This doctor's nice. He's my dentist. I go to him. I was here for these businesses. I was here for Troy's Record Service. I was here before the detail shop. I was here before the water pressing company. The pressure washing company did not open until the week I started talking about finding these faces all over my driveway and property. Some people call alien. Everybody says it matches the movie Signal with Mel Gibson. And they sent somebody to come and pressure wash my property. One day I was gone for half a day. I came back, everything was bleach white. They're pressure washing the interstates with these faces. They're pressure washing the zoo. They're pressure washing concrete anywhere that has these faces. You can go along the fence areas by Coes. You can see the markings that look like bat faces on trees. Even pointy ears. They pressure wash everything to hide the evidence. So here I am. I'm going to go home again, but every time I see something, some kind of new truck, it's usually something either means trip to the hospital, my death, or a hell of a night of torture.